welcome into the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for women's basketball action. The home opener for College of the Canyons as they get ready to take on the Riverside College Tigers here from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage. I'm Matt Robinson, glad to have you along with us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. It's the first game of the regular season for the Lady Cougars, their first time at home under their brand new head coach taking over the helm this year. His first season with College of the Canyons is Robin Hester taking over as the head coach for COC. Let's get that mat to drop. Unfortunately, it did not for us, so we'll try it now. As Coach Hester in his first season as the Lady Cougars head coach, getting his first chance as the head coach on the regular, really, as the COC head coach. 33 years coaching experience, 23 years he was the assistant at Ventura College. He was the co-head coach in 2000 at Ventura, was the interim men's head coach in Ventura in 2001, but getting a chance to take over after John Wismath stepped in, taking over for 2 seasons, after Greg Herrick, the longtime head coach for College of the Canyons, retired. So far this season, Coach Hester has his team off to a 2-2 start. The Lady Cougars trying to bounce back, find a win here today against a Riverside squad. They've already played 2 top 25 teams this season. They've split, losing to San Jose City and bouncing back against Pasadena City the next night. They have 7 more games against preseason top 25 teams this year. Do the Lady Cougars. Makes it tough on them as they look down their schedule. 2 of those games against conference opponents in Glendale and Citrus. The Cougars trying a brand new roster this year. It's a fresh group. There are no current returning players on the rosters. They're going to have to rely heavily on freshman scorers Mia Sija and Jenny Sanchez, both of who are averaging over 10 points a game through their first 4 games this season. Sija with 14 points, 3 rebounds. Sanchez 12.8 points, 8.5 rebounds. Those two are really going to have to run everything for College of the Canyons. Pair of guards for COC. The Cougars lost their only game against Riverside last season, 83-73. As we take a look at the numbers between both these teams here early on in this season, Riverside averaging 67.3 for Alicia Berber, the head coach of the Tigers. They shoot 37% from the floor, 28% from 3. Their rebound margin is in the negative right now, but their net efficiency is decent at 0.39. Net efficiency right now, 37th best in the state. The Cougars' net efficiency well low at negative 241. That's 76th in the state. The Cougars have struggled offensively. The offensive efficiency just 65.9%. The defensive efficiency at 90% even. So need to be, actually, it's not even percentages, I'm sorry. The offensive efficiency at .659, defensive at .900. Got to be above 1 really to give yourself an opportunity on the defensive side, and around or above 1 on the offensive side as well usually shows up pretty good. Starters for both sides: Nevaeh Pina, Talia Washington, Ariel Perkins, India Parks, and Michelle Soto getting the start for Riverside. For College of the Canyons, Alyssa Sheridan, Maya Sija, Jasmine Bolanos, Jenny Sanchez, and Vivian Alvarado, as the tip is controlled by College of the Canyons as Sija picks it up, and she'll run the point to start things off for the Lady Cougars. Drop it to Bolanos, back to Sija. We'll put up a 3 from the wing, no good, but a rebound pulled down by Canyons as it was knocked down by Alvarado on the inside. The Cougars will get the first bucket of the ball game as Jenny Sanchez lays it in. So Sanchez, who averages a little over 12.5 points per game and nearly 9 rebounds, gets Canyons on the board, scores the first bucket of their home schedule this season. Here's Riverside with the ball. Ariel Perkins controlling. Riverside already missing on a shot down the floor. Pina will send it up top. Tigers will work it to the near side. Here's a jump shot from Washington that falls, knocks down an 18-footer, and we're even at 2. I would expect a feeling out process between both these sides. Riverside 3-3 on their season. Started the season with wins over West LA and Pasadena City, then lost to San Jose City, lost to East Los Angeles, lost to Chaffee, but won in their last contest out against Compton College. goes out off of Canyons. It'll be Riverside basketball. The Tigers will bring it back up to midcourt. Soto trying to square up, excuse me. That was Parks squaring up, and she does on the inside in the painted area, just outside the restricted area. And Riverside a 4-0 run to take a 4-2 lead. Bolanos push it down low. Sardin tried to work it across the baseline. It was poked out by Riverside, so it'll stay with Canyons here. 18 seconds on the shot clock for the Lady Cougars as they go to work. Here trailing 4-2, just underway. Riverside and College of the Canyons. If you're joining us here on the Cougar Sports Network, we thank you. It's a big week this week. We've gotten some added games, maybe one more even on the schedule. Here at home, we'll wait and see. Canyons misses on another 3. So far 0 for 2 from 3, as it was Alvarado three-pointer that didn't fall. Now Parks trying to work block extended, no good. Rebound from Sanchez. She outlets ahead to Cija, who was running the floor. She'll try and lay it off the window, no good. Rebound pulled down by Bolanos, and Canyons will reset. Here's Alvarado trying to work into the paint, throws up a wild shot, didn't draw a foul. As I said, the hands were straight up, and Pina with the rebound will work it up the floor. She'll dump it off far side. Perkins tried to work it down low, but Sardin with a steal. Canyons will try and go back the other way. Here's Sanchez working to her right. Bolanos will throw it down low. Sardin catches back up to Sanchez now on the far wing, just in front of the Riverside bench. Now to the middle of the floor to Alvarado. Drives the lane, dumps it off. Sardin with 10 now. Now to Sanchez, top of the key, a jumper, no good. Missed the mark on the right. 4-2 the lead here, Riverside. Just underway in the first quarter. Tigers on the transition offense. Perkins lays it home, and Riverside on a 6-0 run. As we said, for Coach Hester, a young team. Bolanos has some experience coming over from LA Pierce College, but everybody else on the roster are freshmen. So a team still growing into the college game, just 5 games in. Sanchez throws up an air ball that was just really an attempt to hit the rim before the shot clock expired. Riverside trying to go transition the other way. Washington dribbled into traffic, had it stolen, and Canyons will work back up the floor. Cija will send it far side to Sanchez. She'll dribble into the lane, stops, and a jumper from the foul line was too strong. Back the other way, Riverside on a defensive rip. Perkins will bring it up with the left hand. Goes to the rim, didn't get it to fall. Rebound pulled down by Sardin. Canyons back the other direction. So far neither team hitting on offense efficiently. Riverside 3 of 6, Canyons 1 of 9, and 0 for 3 from 3-point. They try one here, Cija too long. Nobody inside for Canyons on the rebound, so it was an easy one for Parks to pull down. And Riverside back out the other way. Pina will set it up top. They'll work it around to the far side. A 3-pointer on the way. Rattles home for Talia Washington. Riverside with a 9-2 advantage here early on. Some frustration from the Cougars offensively here early on. Trying to settle in on the offensive side now. Trailing 9-2. Bolanos will send it to Sanchez in the corner. Not a lot of motion from Canyons here. Everybody really in isolation, looking for a spot. Cija now trying to work in isolation. One-on-one, drives, and she'll draw the foul. Soto coming across, bumped into her. Cija will get herself to the line. First foul of the ball game on either side. 5:02 to go here in the first quarter. Ariana Ramirez checking in for Riverside. For College of the Canyons, both Soraya Piper and Janice Benbow checking in. As Sanchez will get off the floor along with Alvarado. Cija misses the first foul shot. Cija on the season 44% from the foul line. Canyons as a group from the foul line this year, shooting 50%. Cija makes 1 of 2. That's 82nd in the state. Got to get that number up a lot higher as we continue on in the season. but still early on. I remember lots of growing pains here. There's an error from Riverside on a pass that went out of play. Washington was trying to cut basket. Perkins thought she was going to bump back off the initial front step against Benbow to create separation, threw it behind her, and went out of play. Sneja, the freshman out of Sylmar, will bring it ahead. Benbow will send it inside. Sheridan drives baseline on a spin move and didn't get the lay-in to fall. It just hung on the rim and then fell out. And Riverside back the other way. Parks up the floor. Dumps it off. Riverside will work it around to Washington. She'll try and drive. Throws up a shot that never hit the rim. Sheridan triple team down low, but is able to outlet to Piper. Piper ahead. Benbow trying to drive from the block. Had it blocked. As coming across when was Pina to knock it away. The Tigers back the other direction. Pina. Should have been a travel. Coach Hester was up on the bench hollering for it. Riverside going to get the bucket out of it. And it's 11-3. Here's Sija back the other way. Working one-on-one here against Perkins. Now drives, kicks it Bolanos. Now to Sheridan. Sheridan back to Bolanos. She'll put up a deep two, a 22-footer, no good. Riverside and Canyons both fighting for the rebound, and Riverside going to be able to come away with it. Pina pulled it down. India Parks will put up a wing three in transition. No, but got her own rebound and will lay it home. 10-point advantage here for Riverside in the first. 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Sija trying to drive. Canyons will work it around. Sheridan will put up a deep two. An 18-footer is good. Maybe exactly what the Cougars need is to see one just fall, really. That's the lead down to 8. Sheridan, 6 points, 12 boards in the last outing against LA Valley, a Canyons loss. Averaging 8 points and 13 boards. Really playing inside. Couldn't do much that time against Parks. Right back to a 10-point lead. Sheridan, the tallest player on the Canyons roster at 5'7". In Apache as well, 5'7", but she is not in the lineup today. Riverside gets a takeaway. Easy bucket back the other way for Washington as she lays it home, making a 12-point Tiger lead. Here's Sija with the basketball. Kind of waiting for everybody to start moving. Still in isolation. Will work off the Sheridan screen. Kicks it over to Piper. Piper trying to drive. Sends it back to Sija. Looked at a three. Instead, we'll get it to Sheridan. Sheridan trying to drive baseline. Got it to Bolanos. Bolanos has it swiped away from her, and it's a shot clock violation on Canyons. Substitutions coming for both sides. Sanchez back on the floor along with Alvarado. Bolanos and Benbow will check out. Riverside brings Alexa Moreno onto the floor, along with Camille Hickey. Here's Pina. Riverside able to get it inside to Hickey. Good pass from Pina, and Hickey lays it home. Hickey this season only averaging 4.5 points. Didn't score at all against Compton in the win. Didn't have 2 boards in 7 minutes in that one, but she gets on the board here. And it's a 19-5 Riverside lead. 1:05 to go here in the first quarter. Piper thought about putting it on the floor. Instead, it got it to Sanchez. Now Alvarado with 3 that didn't fall. Hit pretty much every part of the rim, then off the backboard and out. Riverside back the other way. Pina driving, puts it off the glass and in. 21-5 the advantage here inside of a minute to go in the first half. Riverside 10 of 15 from the floor so far. Canyons 0 of 15, and they have not hit on a three-pointer here in the ballgame. Piper tied up. We'll have possession arrow in favor of Riverside. The Tigers doing a good job defensively here. Canyons has not figured out how to get through Washington and Pina. Pina at 5'8", Washington at 5'10". Parks at 5'8" as well. Lots of bigs out on the floor for Riverside. Big guards that can really move. This one knocked away by Sanchez. Sheridan picks it up, gets it to Seja. Seja attacked from behind, but it came to Piper. Piper couldn't hold on to it, and that'll end the first quarter. Riverside a 21-5 advantage over College of the Canyons. 1 quarter in the books, second quarter when we come back.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Make hosting your next event easy with the Dr. Diane G. Van Hook University Center. With over 30 meeting spaces, wireless video teleconferencing capabilities, food service, and technical support available, the University Center has everything you need to make your next event shine. Conveniently located near the 5 and 14 freeways in Santa Clarita, the University Center offers easy access to local airports and many attractions, making it the ideal meeting place for everyone. To learn more about our rental options or to book now, visit canyons.edu/University Center.
One quarter in the books here from College of the Canyons. Riverside leading COC 21-5 after 10 minutes of play. The Canyons basketball to start here in this second quarter. Jasmine Bolanos checking back in here for College of the Canyons as she'll start things off and gets it to Sanchez, back to Bolanos. Canyons very stationary in their offense right now. Alvarado tries to take Parks off isolation. She just steals it away. He sends it ahead to Alexa Moreno. She throws up a shot that doesn't fall. Ramirez with the rebound, backs it out and puts it in. Sanchez will bring it up the floor. A 23-5 advantage here for Riverside. Tough start for the Lady Cougars. They've only made a couple of buckets. Just 2 shots from the floor have fallen on 15 attempts. Another turnover on Canyons. Riverside back the other way. This one poked out by the Cougars coming back defensively. Seja will check in to take over for Piper here. Riverside gonna check Zakai Howard, 6'4" freshman out of Riverside. Ariel Perkins also coming, as well as Talia Washington. Talia Washington, excuse me. 23-5, the Riverside advantage. Neither team is used to timeout yet. Only 1 foul so far in the ball game. Nice little shot from Camille Hickey. A little bit of a runner. Hickey with her second bucket. She's got 4 points now. Washington leading the way with 7 for Riverside. Seja. Sheridan trying to work down low, kicks it out. Alvarado, a corner 3 falls. The first 3 here on Lee Smelser court for the Lady Cougars as Vivian Alvarado knocks it down. Her first 3 of the season. Alvarado was 0 for 2 against LA Valley from 3. Only averages 2.3 points per game. That should have been probably out of bounds on Moreno as she caught the ball off the miss from Howard. Rebound pulled down by Riverside, and a jump ball tie-up arrow in favor of Canyons. Riverside able to get the ball in. Moreno will send it back up top to Howard. Howard in isolation with Cijo will send it over to Perkins. Perkins kind of pointing out directions, waiting for someone to move. Now we'll send it over towards Moreno. Back up top, a three-pointer from Hickey, no good. Rebound pulled down by Howard. Got back out to Hickey, and she puts it off the window and in. Hickey now with 6. A couple of rebounds that time from Zakiah Howard, who has not scored a point yet this season in 5 of 6 Riverside games. Coming into today. Here's Alvarado. Puts up a 3, back-to-back threes for Alvarado. Viviana Alvarado now with a couple of threes. Trying to stem a Cougar comeback. They get an air ball miss from Riverside. Sanchez could have pushed it, instead slows it down. Guess Canyons will work into the half-court offense here. Cija nearly slipped on the floor, able to keep herself upright. Spins in the lane, just didn't get it to fall. It's a pretty good look from Cija. Wide open look for Riverside. Moreno could have dribbled for 15 feet and not seen anybody. Rebound pulled down by Howard, but Canyon's able to tie her up, and they'll have the possession arrow in their favor. Lena Lee checking in, Piper as well. First time we've seen Lee this season. She's only played in a couple of games so far this year. Did not play in the last one against LA Valley. That's the first time we've seen her this season. First home game of the season, so it makes sense. Sanchez was dribbling towards the left. A foul going to be called on Riverside. It's going to go against Camille Hickey. Her first, just the first on Riverside here in the quarter. Canyons 4 of 18 from the floor. Riverside 13 of 23. Washington with 7 leads the way for Riverside. Alvarado with her 2 threes leads the way with Canyons for 6. Get it into Alvarado. Was calling for Piper to come up and set a screen for her. Instead, Piper ran down inside, so she has to kick it back to Cija. Cija will get it back to Alvarado. Alvarado working to her right into a double team, a tie-up, and a possession arrow Canyons.
Return for the Tigers. Let's go defense!
Pino will send it to Parks. Parks fouled on the floor against Canyons. First foul of the ball game on COC. Goes against Lee. Canyons 6 players from the local area on the team this season. Lee, that's a mismatch down low. Lee trying to guard Parks. Lee at 5'1", Parks at 5'8". All Parks has to do is catch the ball that's thrown in the air. It's an easy bucket for her. There's Piper. Puts up a wild shot, didn't hit anything. Cija diving on the floor, was able to get it to Piper. It's a kickball on Riverside. It'll be Canyons basketball. I'll give the Cougars a reset here. Sheridan, Rodriguez, Lee, Ben Bompachi, and Piper, all from the local area. Really, 6 of the 7 local schools represented, the only school missing Canyon High School, is Sheridan from West Ranch, Rodriguez from Hartley, from Castaic, Benbow from Golden Valley, Ponching from Valencia, and actually we're missing Sanga, so 2 of the 7 schools, Piper from Castaic as well. As we'll take a timeout on the floor, 31-11 in favor of the Riverside Tigers here in the Cougar Sports Network.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us, comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Riverside leading College of the Canyons right now. 31-11 as we continue on here in the first half. 5:23 to go in the second quarter. Canyons with the basketball. He drops it for Sanchez. Sanchez working to her left, stops at the foul line. Dumped it back to Alvarado. There's a foul on Riverside, goes against Washington. First foul against Washington, second against Riverside here in the quarter. Her fouls reset every quarter in terms of the team fouls, so 5 fouls to get into the bonus. There's a dangerous pass that's stolen away. Washington back the other way on the fast break, lays it in. Seja will send it onto the far side. Alvarado will put up a 3 with a hand in her face, but drains it. Alvarado with 9 for Canyons. 9 to the Cougars, 14 points so far here. Canyons needs to find a way to get some stops defensively. Trailing by 19 at the moment. The offense not efficient so far tonight, just 25% from the floor, but they've allowed Riverside to shoot 16 of 26, which is not at all going to get things done. Here's Pina. Going to be called for a travel. Into the front court here. Bounce pass inside Sheridan, works it back to Piper. She'll put up a 15-footer early in the shot clock, didn't fall. Perkins back the other way. Perkins a bounce pass inside, bounced off of Hickey. Canyons will get a takeaway. Sanchez backs off a defender, but put one off the backboard, no good. Back the other way comes Riverside. Hickey trying to pass it inside. Piper was right there to try and defend Parks and did enough to make Parks miss. Didn't hit the rim, didn't hit the backboard. Canyons back to work on offense here in the half-court set. Canyons a turnover though. Riverside a fast break the other way. Washington lays it in. Perkins picks up the assist on the turnover. Canyons trying to get a bounce pass through, didn't find its way. Substitutions coming. Alexa Moreno coming in to take over for Sanchez. Or excuse me, for Hickey. Milano's coming in to take over for Sanchez. Another 3 for Canyons. Viviana Alvarado with 12 points in the ball game. She's the only player in double figures for Canyons. Washington with 13 for Riverside leading the way. Canyons getting another stop. And then they draw a foul as Alvarado bumped into by Parks that time. Good that time from Canyons down into the offensive side. Perkins back the other way, stops it up outside the three-point line. Washington will try and drive. Nobody there to really contest for Canyons, but she missed, had too much on it. And then Parks called for a travel down low as 2 Cougars were around her, forced the turnover. Canyons trying to work on the offense side here, trailing 35-17. Looking to build some momentum before the close of the first half. Sheridan trying to drive baseline, dumps it off. Sija tried for the reverse layup as she ran into a wall of black jerseys. Pina was the one down there to make her drive all the way under. Back the other way in transition. Parks gets a lay-in. Parks now in double figures with 10 and the lead back up to 20. Sija had Washington right on top of her. Got it over to Benbow. Now back to Sija. We'll send it over Bolanos. At some point, Canyons needs to start moving around. Everybody kind of standing still, and you see what happens right there as Washington just jumps the passing lane and takes it back the other way for an easy bucket. Make it 39-17. Sija. Little mishandle on the dribble. Now she'll work to her left, back to her right here. Bounce pass hits Sheridan. She'll put up a little 15-footer that's good. Sheridan knocks one in. A little more in rhythm here, but the lead right now 20 for Riverside. Another offensive board for the Tigers. And Parks, another turnaround jumper that's good. Give her 12. Riverside out-rebounding the Cougars 22-9 so far in the ball game. I think that'll actually change to 23. I think the web stats just a touch behind. Canyons working inside to Sheridan. Dumped it off Alvarado, driving baseline. Sends a floater up that didn't fall. Riverside with a 41-19 advantage, brings it up into the front court. Washington inside Parks. Sija swatted it out of her hand on the first one, contested the second one, couldn't save the ball. It'll stay with Riverside here, but you like the hustle from Mia Sija. Jenny Sanchez checking in to take over for Bolanos for the final 14 seconds here. Tend to work for Riverside here. Perkins will send it over to Pina. Back up top to Perkins. To her left to Pina. Buzzer three-pointer on the way. No too much on it. And that'll end the first half. 41 points for Riverside in the first half. Some growing pains for the Cougars, who only put up 19. They trail 41-19 as we go to the halftime break. Here from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage.
Welcome to College of the Canyons, where students become the success stories of tomorrow. Whether you're already in the workforce or just getting started, our flexible schedules are a game changer. And students don't just earn degrees. They catapult into desirable careers in top 4-year universities for just $46 per unit. Quality education without crushing debt. Ditch the cookie-cutter mold of college and make college work for you. Register now at canyons.edu/schedule.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us, comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the Shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Make hosting your next event easy with the Dr. Diane G. Van Hook University Center. With over 30 meeting spaces, wireless video teleconferencing capabilities, food service, and technical support available, the University Center has everything you need to make your next event shine. Conveniently located near the 5 and 14 freeways in Santa Clarita, the University Center offers easy access to local airports and many attractions, making it the ideal meeting place for everyone. To learn more about our rental options or to book now, visit canyons.edu/University Center.
Welcome back into the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready to go to the third quarter here. Riverside leading Canyons 41-19. Cougars will start with the ball here. Sija, Sanchez, Bolanos, Sheridan, and Alvarado on the floor for Canyons. Starters out on the floor for Riverside as well from the beginning of the game. Sija, who's been quiet today, has not had a point other than a foul shot. Missed on that one. And an air ball from Canyons, no good. Riverside out in transition, but they throw it away. Here's Sanchez for Canyons now. Trying to throw it inside, taken away by Riverside. Pina will bring it up into the front court. Riverside will get into a half-court offense. Washington, wing three on the way, no good. Canyons trying to control the rebound. They throw it right back into play for Riverside. A shot from Perkins, no good. Pina will collect. Tigers will work inside to Soto. Soto guarded tightly. Now Washington, a deep three, finds the front of the rim, didn't fall, but good inside position that time from Perkins. She ripped down the rebound and put it back in. Sija was just outside of her. They both went up. Sija actually went down to the floor as Perkins was able to pull down the board. 43-19, Riverside leading. Canyons led 2-0 and trailed the rest of the way. Tigers ran out to 41 points in the first half. Here's a Sija three, no good. Perkins back the other direction. Out to Pina. Pina driving. Good cut into the lane as Pina backed it off. Parks was there to collect and lay it in for an easy bucket. Here's Sheridan trying to drive baseline. No good. Got her own rebound. Gets it to Sanchez. Little jumper from Sanchez from about 8 feet. Good. First bucket for Jenny Sanchez today. Scratch that second bucket for Jenny Sanchez today. So Sanchez with 4, Sheridan with 4, Alvarado with 12 of the Canyons' 21 points. And only Mia Sija with 1 point is the only other scorer for Canyons today. Cougars just not been able to get off the hardwood here early on. There's an 18-footer that's good from Pina. Pina, who averages 12.35, almost 6 boards a game and 2.5 rebounds. Now finds herself with just 4 points in the ball game. For Riverside, it's really been Washington and Parks that lead the way. Parks averages 23 and 13, a double-double on the season. She's got 14 and 6 here today. Washington 17 and 4, nearly averaging 18 points a game, 17.7. She's right around that average of 15 here. Sija trying to drive, counted in the foul for Mia Sija. A little uncomfortable after it as well, maybe. But she'll walk it off and go to the line. All right, Piper checking in to take over for Bolanos. Michelle Soto checking out. Alexa Moreno checking in. Sija knocks it in. So Sija now with 5 points. You can see her starting to get going here at the start of the third quarter. Riverside back to working a half-court offense now. Perkins will send it to Parks, trying to dribble against Sheridan. Sends it to Pina, but Pina stepped on the sideline. That's a turnover in Canyons basketball here. Cougars trying to fight back here, trailing 47-24. It was all Riverside in the first half. Riverside shooting up over 50% in the ballgame. The Cougars just 9 of 35. Only 25% from the floor today. Trying to get going. There's a nice jumper from Sheridan. Canyons starting to find their rhythm. Another bucket for the Cougars. Sheridan with 6 now. And then a travel going to be called against Alexa Moreno. Canyons here in the third quarter. Scoring Riverside at the moment through 5 minutes, or almost 5 minutes, 7-6. Sija drives baseline and lays it in. The home crowd's starting to get into it here. Here's a 3 for Pina to try and stop the bleeding, no good. Long rebound pulled down by Perkins. She drives baseline, had it contested, and then a foul gonna be called on the offensive side on Riverside for a push on the rebound. And another stop for the Cougars here. And Riverside gonna use their first time out of the ball game. As Alicia Berber wants to talk things over, not liking the way things have started here for Riverside. Canyons on a 9-6 run here in the first. So 47-28, Riverside leading Canyons. Sheridan trying to work baseline. She'll draw a foul. As she had Ramirez guarding her, was able to muscle her way towards the bucket. So Sheridan, will go to the line. Sheridan, a 50% foul shooter on the season. Knocks down the first of 2. Second is there as well. Canyons back within 17 now. They've held the Tigers really in check here on the defensive side of the floor. Alvarado knocks that one away from Ramirez. Here's Perkins. Hickey now, back to Perkins. Perkins shanks Piper, dumps it inside. Ramirez underneath the basket, no good. Rebound pulled down by Sanchez off the Moreno miss. And again, Canyons defense standing tall here, forcing another Riverside miss. Cougars throw that one away on the offensive side, though. Tigers working back into the front court. Three no good. Rebound Alvarado. Outlet ahead to Seja, who was running the floor. Couldn't catch it cleanly. Canyons had a 2-on-0 if they had gotten the ball ahead quicker. Instead, they'll run into the half-court offense. Sanchez. Screen and roll to Sheridan. Sheridan going to be called for a travel. Step back with her left foot before she put the ball on the floor. Riverside will sub in India Parks. Parks leading scorer on the floor for Riverside with 14 points. Washington on the bench with 15 at the moment. Parks now with 16 as she knocks down a 12-footer. And it stops a little bit of the bleeding. Riverside back up by 19. Canyons trying to start the comeback here. 3:25, three-pointer. Seja is good. Trying to get a stop here. That one no good. Rebound Sheridan on the inside. Outlets to Seja. Seja one-on-one, dumps it off. Alvarado now driving, lays it off the window, no good. Got her own rebound, kicks it out Seja. Seja will delay things back out as Canyons will reset here. Sanchez, 10 on the shot clock, trying to work into the painted area. Draws a foul as she drove on Camille Hickey, and she'll get herself to the line. Cougars can keep doing that. They'll get themselves back into this ball game quicker than you think. Just 5 of 13 from the line. Riverside 5 of 13 from 3. Cougars 4 of 5 from the line. Riverside has not taken a foul shot yet in the ball game. They've got 4 fouls on them here in this third quarter. So the next foul would put Canyons at the line or the remainder of the third quarter. 2 shots coming here for Jenny Sanchez, who's perfect on the season foul attempts. But of course, the broadcaster jinx takes effect and she misses on the first. Sammy Rodriguez, the freshman out of Hart High School, checked into the game. Sanchez knocks down the second. 49-34. Cougars trailed 41-19 at the half. They get another stop. Sanchez runs into some traffic, slows things up as she'll try and bring it across the timeline. Does. Diving on the floor was Perkins to take it away from Sanchez. Now Sanchez trapped in the corner, needs to move the basketball, and smartly Robin Hester running up the floor towards the scorer's table to get a timeout and avoid a violation on Canyons. So the Cougars will talk things over here. 30-second timeout. We'll stay right with it. Riverside leading right now, 49-34. The Canyons 15-8 run here in the third quarter right now. And it started on the defensive side of the floor. The Cougars have held the Tigers in check. Just 4 buckets in this third quarter for Riverside. Fortunately, the Presto stat sheet doesn't break down quarter by quarter shooting. But we can just tell you Riverside shooting 24-48 so far in the ball game. But I would say have shot probably about 25% here in this third quarter. Seja across the timeline. Canyons with plenty of time on the shot clock to work into their half-court offense. Seja trying to work around Moreno off the screen of Piper. Now back to Seja here at the foul line. Seja drives, kicks, and yep, Benbow going to be called for a travel. Getting that stutter step here. Turnover on Canyons that time. 12th turnover of the ball game on the Cougars. Riverside with 11 so far in the ball game. They try and work inside to Parks. Siege trying to guard her. It's a tough matchup as Parks so strong down low. She's got 18 now. Siege needs to move the basketball, does to Alvarado, drops it back to Siege. Thought about a three, kicked it back to Alvarado. She tries to drive. Contested shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Rodriguez, missed on the putback attempt. But you like the hustle that time from Sammy Rodriguez. Back the other way comes Riverside. Uncontested jumper, an easy bucket for Nevaeh Pina. Back-to-back buckets for Riverside. Lead backed up to 53-34. Inside of a minute to go here in the third quarter. Sanchez checking back in. Riverside back to work on a half-court offense here. They get it inside to Parks, who's their leading scorer. She'll kick back to Pina. Didn't have enough pace on it to give Pina a chance for three. Instead, back the other way, and an offensive foul. Talia Washington called for it as it was drawn by, I believe, Piper down low. Washington's third foul. And Canyon's in the bonus for the final few moments here. They will shoot the rest of the way, but there's only 26 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Sanchez trying to take her time here. Works off the Piper screen. Needs to move the basketball, dumps it to Sija. Sija trying to work to her left now, throws up a wild layup, draws a foul, and gets herself to the line at the very least with 2.9. Alisa Sheridan in the background behind the Canyons bench right now. You can see her kind of sprinting around back there. She's fighting something right now. Sheridan has helped with some presence inside with 8 points. Alvarado with 12. Sija now with 10 as she knocks in the first. Nia knocks them both down. 53-36, one final heave from Riverside, no good. Possession arrow with the Tigers when we come back here into the fourth quarter. Riverside with a 53-36 advantage. Lots of action here on the Cougar Sports Network as the rest of the week continues on. Women's soccer playoff matchup tomorrow, the 3C2A SoCal Regional against San Diego Miramar, a 2 p.m. start time for that one. I hope you join us for that. Should be a fun one. The Lady Cougars into the playoffs once again, 14-4 and 2 on the season. Actually, it might be 14-4 and 4. My brain is not connecting right now on what the record is, but number 13 team in the SoCal bracket trying to get into the second round once again. We'll have some more basketball action here on Friday. Men's basketball against Long Beach at 6 p.m. Then women's basketball back in action against Chaffey on the 23rd at 3 p.m. Might have a volleyball game after that as Lady Cougars women's volleyball team in action. Then a bowl game, the Jersey Mike's Valencia Bowl, first ever Jersey Mike's Valencia Bowl against Mount San Jacinto College, and then basketball again next week. As we go back to work here inside Lee Smelser Court at the Cougar Cage, Canyons another stop, another takeaway, an outlet ahead. Sanchez, a layup off the window is good. Good job by Sheridan back in there. And Canyon's off on the right foot here in the fourth quarter. They outdueled Riverside 17-12 in the third. Need more of that as they trail right now by 15. Got to find a way to get a blowout quarter here against Riverside. Tigers with a wide open look, but no good, and now they draw a foul. Should actually remove the home bonus here from the Canyon side. Ariel Perkins, a 66% foul shooter, goes to the line. It came off the Michelle Soto miss. Perkins misses the first. Second is good. Lead is now 16 for Riverside. They've led by over 20 at one point in the ball game. Canyons has closed it down a little bit. Credit the Lady Cougars for continuing to play despite a really rough start in the first half. They got outscored 21-5 in the first quarter. Sanchez misses there, and then 20-14 in the second. So you erase that first quarter, and Canyon's very much in this ball game as there's a bucket for Riverside and transition off the Canyon's miss. And once again, Riverside back up to an 18-point advantage. Really, though, outside of that really bad first quarter, Canyons has played much better as the game has continued on. Piper going to be called for a foul as she ran into India Parks. Milano's going to check back in to take over here for Soraya Piper. Maddie Barreto checking in for Riverside here. Ariel Perkins. Washington wide open. Sanchez a late closeout, but contested enough. Ball goes out off of Riverside. It'll be with Canyons here. Jenny Sanchez into the front court for Canyons. Works off the Alvarado screen as Riverside switches on the defensive side here. Canyons trying to get a look for a cutting Sanchez. Didn't get it, but Alvarado will put up a three off the Sanchez recovery. Unfortunately, it bounced off the rim, rolled over the backboard. Tigers trying to work it inside. A tie-up going to be called. Possession arrow with Canyons. Parks wasn't ready for the pass. It kind of hit her right in the chest area. That allowed Sanchez to tie it up. So the possession arrow switches back over to Riverside after Cougars get the ball back. Sanchez. It's back to Alvarado. Now back Sheridan. A three on the way is good. Three-pointer for Melissa Sheridan. Canyons back within 15 here. Riverside, little misconnection there. Able to recover it though as Pina sends it to Parks. Parks fouled by Sanchez. That's a good foul by Sanchez. Sends Parks, who shoots 66% from the line. Sends her to the line and takes away a bucket. Parks has been just about money from down low today. Parks 15.7 boards. Washington 15 points, 3 boards. Parks misses on the first. Perkins 7 points, 11 rebounds. For Canyons, Alvarado with 12, Sheridan with 11, Seja with 11.
Parks makes one of two. 16-point lead, 7:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, Canyons, an abysmal first quarter, but they've played much better since. There's Bolanos. Her pass wasn't hard enough to get by Perkins. A Euro step from Perkins, no good as Sija contested. Alvarado will dribble out the rebound back up into the front court. She'll try and drive. Threw up a shot that was blocked by Pina. Now an injury back down by the Riverside bench here. I can't see who it is. Leah Washington checking in. It's Ariel Perkins, whose ankle I think it is that's bothering her here. All stays with Canyons. Sheridan working against Parks. Little turnaround in the lane is good. Canyons trying to get back within single digits here. Parks throws one up, no good. Washington, an offensive rebound, didn't get there. That one goes out off of Sija. It'll stay with Riverside for the moment. And the Tigers going to take a timeout, 30-second timeout by Riverside here. As Coach Berber wants to talk things over. 6:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. Canyons trailing Riverside 57-43. We'll put that live stream schedule back up for you once again. As we said, the first ever Jersey Mike's Valencia Bowl on the 24th, a rare Sunday game here for College of the Canyons, 2 p.m., and men's basketball on the 26th at 6 p.m. against Santa Barbara. So if you want to just watch some college action, we'll have them for you here on the Cougar Sports Network. We're more than happy to bring it to you. And you can find the full live stream schedule on cocathletics.com, or keep an eye on Instagram, as that'll have a lot of information for you there as well. It's Riverside back to work offensively. They miss, and that's a smart play by Mia Sija. Sees that Maddie Barreto is right there next to her, bounces it off her as the ball was going out of play, and it'll stay with Canyons here. Sanchez will pass it in. CJ will bring it up. Canyons trailing 57-43. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Cougars trying to make an enormous comeback here in their home opener. There's Sanchez on the near side. Drives to the painted area. Puts it up over the top of a couple of defenders. Parks most notably, and lays it in. Canyons all of a sudden back within 12. Can get it back to single digits if they get a stop here. Parks from the elbow. A jumper. No good. Gets her own rebound, spins around. Had it knocked out of her hand by Sanchez. Canyons trying to drive it back the other way. Alvarado running right into the paint. Throws it up, no good. Uncontested rebound pulled down by Pina. She tries to run the transition the other way. We'll slow it up. Throws it in the middle to Washington. Washington dribble drive. Scoops her hair out of the way as she lays it in. Pretty easy bucket for Talia Washington. Once again, Riverside back up by 14. Here's an Alvarado three from the wing. It's good, and Canyons within 11 all of a sudden. 5 minutes to go, and we've got a bit of a ball game on our hands now here in the fourth quarter. Pina sends it over to Hickey. Hickey for Riverside, holding on to it. Put it on the floor once. Canyons needs to put some pressure on her. Is able to get it to Parks. Drove. It's going to be counted in the foul for continuation for Parks. The foul on Sheridan. Going to be the fourth foul on Canyons here in the fourth quarter. An and one opportunity here for Parks. Parks, 21 points, 8 boards. Approaching a double-double, which she's averaged this season.
makes the foul shot, so she completes the old-fashioned three-point play. From 11 back to 14, Riverside stays in the lead here. Here's Alvarado. Alvarado trying to drive. Dumped it off to a wide open Sanchez, countered in the foul. That's good job by the Canyons offense that time. Back within 12. And if nothing, if the Lady Cougars can't pull off this massive comeback, you like the way they've played from the third quarter on, or from the second quarter on, as they force another turnover on Riverside. The Tigers now 13 turnovers in the ball game. They've out-rebounded Canyons 42-21. But Canyons has a chance to get this back to single digits, or within 10 right now, with just a 2-point bucket and single digits with a 3. Sheridan, top of the key. Seja trying to find some open space. Kicks it to Sheridan on the near wing. Sheridan dribbling through two bodies. Draws a foul. Is the foul going to be called against Soto? Soto going to, I believe, check out here. Adriana Ramirez coming back in. That was the second foul on Soto. 3:47 time running away from Canyons here. They get it in. Sheridan too strong on the jumper. Piper an offensive board. Alvarado with 3, no good. Parks tied up by Sheridan. And it's a reset here for Canyons. So they say the possession arrow with the Cougars here. Sanchez needs to get it in, does. Sheridan catches, works down towards the baseline. Drops for Alvarado, puts up a contested 3 that hit the shot clock. Coach Hester was asking for a tip. Didn't get it. Kind of had a smile on his face as he walked back up the floor. 62-50 in favor of Riverside. Washington backs Seja off on the first push. Now has to back off herself and loses it. Sanchez has it. Stops up the half-court offense here for Canyons. Plays it to Seja. Seja trying to drive against Washington, has it swatted away. Washington, the 5'10 guard out of San Bernardino, staying right with the smaller Seja that time. Canyons will keep the ball with 16 seconds on the shot clock. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining in the ball game. Here's Sheridan. Works it to Piper, top of the key. Piper will put it on the floor. Kicks it back to Seja, who's pushed. That's going to be foul against Steele Washington. Second foul on Riverside gives Canyons a 20-second reset here. That's the 4th foul on Washington here. Riverside going to let her stay in. Sheridan moving through the painted area. Seja controls it on the outside. Got it to Sanchez. Sanchez, top of the key. Dumps it off Alvarado. Alvarado puts it on the floor. Kicks it back Sheridan. Now back to Sanchez. Sanchez needs to put one up from the foul line. Does. No good. Rebound Parks. Canyons just too long in their half-court set. Ahead. No good that time from Washington off the outlet from Parks. Canyons quickly bringing it back up the floor. Alvarado trying to drive baseline. Stop up, jumper, short. Good contest that time from Alexa Moreno. Parks back the other way. Parks with 22 points and 10 boards. Another double-double for her. She has that one swatted away by Jenny Sanchez, though. They'll throw it back to Parks down low. Couldn't get that one to fall. Rebound pulled down by Alvarado after it tipped. Sanchez is uncomfortable afterwards. Seja now working on the offensive side, steps into a straightaway 3 that's an air ball. And with 1:39 to go, Riverside will get the ball back. Still leading by 12.
Let's go, defense. Who got ball? Lock in. Let's go. Slide your feet. Slide your feet.
It's Pina.
Stay there. Go, go, go.
Pina will put up a straightaway three. Too strong. Sheridan the board. Sija. Transition. Wanted to find Sanchez, just threw it too far over her head. So, minute 18 to go here. Canyons, we need a bunch of threes in this last 60-plus seconds. Riverside likely going to come away with this one, barring a crazy final minute of the ball game. They miss on a three. Offensive board for Riverside. If they want, they can just back it out, and they're going to be called for a travel here on India Parks. With 54.5, Robin Hester going to call a timeout. 30-second timeout will stay right with it. Indians with 2 timeouts remaining. And your Canyons are trailing by 12. You'd need 4 threes in the final 60 seconds. Not unheard of, but you need to get stops the other way down. You got to figure Riverside can roll off 30 seconds each time down the floor, close to it. So it's kind of, you need a big 3 to start here right away in this possession. And then it's foul and hope Riverside misses foul shots. But if anything, you like to compete from the Lady Cougars. At one point, trailing 21-5. They trailed by as much as 20. I think actually, if I look back, we might be able to figure out it was more than that in the first half. Trailed by 22 at one point. But to come back and make it a bit of a game here, trailing by 12. Alvarado, 3 short, hit the front of the rim. Sheridan the rebound. Good offensive board. Alvarado now a corner 3, no good. Sanchez the rebound. Sheridan catches, block extended. Dump to Sija, who didn't catch cleanly. Had it poked out by Washington, but that should just about wrap it up here as Canyons will lose their first game here on their home floor. But again, good compete from the Lady Cougars. Riverside gonna move to 4 and 3. The Cougars gonna fall to 2 and 3. Take the positives away if you're Coach Hester here. A young team trying to get better as the season continues on. Riverside will dribble out the final few. 62-50 going to be the final here. The Tigers going to take it over College of the Canyons. We thank you for joining us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. We hope we have you tomorrow with us for women's soccer. As we said, playoff action. Men's basketball on Friday. Women's basketball on Saturday, maybe women's volleyball on Saturday as well, and then football on Sunday. It is a busy week for us here on the Cougar Sports Network. We hope you join us for it and enjoy. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for women's soccer, 2 p.m. against San Diego Miramar in the 3C2A SoCal Regional Playoffs.